Hey, how's it going, YouTube? This is Email Los Angeles, and in this video, I'm going to go over exactly how I went from a burnt out real estate agent glued to my phone 24/7, working 50-hour weeks with zero freedom, to building a $14 million Amazon FBA private label business that right now makes anywhere between $70,000 to $120,000 in profit every single month, combined with all of my brands. And the best part about it is that it only takes around 10 hours a week to run. And it allows me to go ahead and enjoy the better things in life that actually matter, like taking my daughters to Disneyland on a random Tuesday and Wednesday without having to ask anybody, or spending more time with my actual family, because that's what actually matters in life. And look, I'm always one to show proof. And you can see that my biggest brand here is Maverick. I go over Maverick a lot on this YouTube channel. I even tell you all the tips and tricks that I do in my Amazon FBA business to better help those that are in Amazon currently right now. And let's go ahead and refresh it, because I don't want you to think that these are actual screenshots. These are actual numbers for my Amazon FBA business, where in a single month, I made over $425,000 in revenue. And you can even see Amazon's insights, right? So I'm not photoshopping this actual page, but what actually matters with Amazon is profit. And I'll show you exactly how much profit I actually made. You can see out of $427,000 last month, in a single month, I made over $93,000 in profit, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I went from that real estate agent that I went ahead and talked about in the beginning of this video, burnt out, working 50 hours a week, having all that sweat equity as far as cold calling, door knocking. If you're a real estate agent, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Zero freedom, a people pleaser. And every time I would try and go on vacation, my phone was always off the hook. So I had no time to actually enjoy what mattered most. And that's spending time with my family, right? And I started Amazon FBA not too long ago, right? I started back in 2018. And I'll tell you that it was the best decision of my life. And why is that? Well, let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more so you guys can understand as far as why I'm so deeply passionate about telling everyone about Amazon FBA, right? Now, since 2018, which is not that long ago, I've been able to amass over $14 million in sales when it comes to my Amazon private label business, right? And again, I just showed you that proof. I made over $420,000 in revenue, which accounted for $90,000 in profit in a single month. And again, that's just a single brand. I also own Factory Lace. I also own this other business called Nudity Labs, right? So the sky is the limit as far as the possibilities you can actually do by just taking one step, and that's actually doing Amazon FBA private label. And on average, all of these businesses generate between $70,000 to $120,000 in profit every single month, right? And currently, like I said, I go ahead and manage or own 3 Amazon FBA private label businesses, and I work a total of 10 hours a week on my business. Again, I own 3 businesses. If you were to tell me that owning 3 businesses, I'm only able to work 10 hours a week back when I was a real estate agent, I would say that you are crazy, you are lying, and there is no way possible you're able to go ahead and run that level of a business without having to be in the business 24/7. And the greatest thing about all of this, right? I can liquidate this money because these are my actual brands. I'm creating intellectual property that people are going ahead and purchasing over and over and over again, and that's valuable. So I can decide to step away tomorrow and sell all these businesses and walk away with over $3 million in cash. But the best part is that I don't need that cash right now. Why? Because I already have what people aspire to have, and that's money, time, and location freedom. And that is what Amazon FBA has brought to my life. Those 3 things are the pillars that I stand on the most, that I will never give up Amazon FBA, and I'll continue to build, right? Because I'm able to take a month-long vacation in Europe, and again, spend it with those people that actually matter the most. And that's my family, right? Now I have my second daughter now, and I'm even doubling down even further as far as this being the most important thing in life, right? Having that money, that time, and location freedom that Amazon FBA allows you to have. But not only that, right? Disneyland, like I mentioned before, midweek, on a mini staycation, I can go ahead and spend time with my family without having to ask anybody for permission because I'm able to run these businesses and optimize them in a way where the business doesn't need me to continue to grow, right? And more importantly, more time with my family to actually do things that matter the most. And you guys might think, wow, well, this guy's going ahead and living that life. He must have got lucky. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not the only one living this life. I went ahead and mention here Shorin, Robert, David, Kevin. All of these people were my friends growing up from high school that had a front row seat to see exactly what I've been doing with Amazon FBA since day one. And all of these people decided to jump in, take that risk, and now they have the same thing I have: money, time, and location freedom. And we'll go over exactly what they do later on in this video. Because again, it's not just me living this actual life. It's more people than you think. And you're one step closer to going ahead and becoming one of those people. But there's also people that I don't know, right? People that have joined and I'm coaching them currently right now, like Ghana, that went ahead and I helped him accelerate his growth with Amazon FBA. Or David, which went ahead and started his brand by understanding why successful brands on Amazon are successful and how they can go ahead and learn to understand their customer avatar to build brands that are actually exit ready. Because we're actually building something that we can sell in the future, something of value. So not only are you making money per month in profit that allows you to go ahead and have all of those freedoms that I mentioned, but you also have the ability to exit those businesses for the life-changing amounts of money. Or Kareem, right? He might be the most driven teenager I know. And he went from zero knowledge when it comes to Amazon FBA and had no clue where to start to now being able to be on track to build a $1 million brand in as little as 1 year. And again, I'm gonna go into detail about everyone here in just a second. But before I go ahead and go into that, I just want to make sure that anybody who's watching this actual video knows who this is for, right? This isn't for everyone. So if you're just looking to go ahead and just get rich quick, go ahead and get scammed by investing into Farcoin. Because there's so many different things out there that sell you and pitch you on the idea that tomorrow you'll become an overnight millionaire, and all of it is a scam. That's why I went ahead and put Farcoin over here. Who is it not for either, right? If you're not willing to invest in yourself, because I've been down this road before. And if I had a mentor day one, when I first started Amazon FBA, it would have taken me half the time to get to where I am today, which again, I started in 2018. It took me 7 years to get to where I am today, speaking to this actual audience on YouTube. And if I would have had a mentor that went ahead and taught me all the ropes in the very beginning in day one, I guarantee you I could have got there in half the time, right? So can you. So if you're expecting an overnight success, right? Getting rich quick, it's not for you, because my overnight success took 7 years of blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights, anxiety, you name it, as far as what went on in my Amazon FBA business, especially from day one. But again, that had to do a lot because I didn't know what I didn't know, right? When actual stuff hit the fan, I would panic. But all I know now is that everything is fixable, especially with a mentor. And lastly, who is this not for either? Those that are not ready to take immediate action. Because I've been there before, right? I'm getting a person that wants to hit the ground running, right? I've been here before. If you're not willing to listen to my advice to actually get you from point A to point Z, don't go ahead and listen to this actual YouTube video, right? So right now, who is this for? This is for people who hate where they are right now. You hate your position, you hate your real estate career, you hate your sales job, great. It's like that one saying in The Wolf of Wall Street, right? Pick up the phone and start dialing. If you hate where you're at right now, this video is exactly for you. And I wish I would have saw a video like this when I first got started, because I would have been way more motivated as well, right? I'm not telling you to go out there and quit your job today, right? That's literally not what I'm telling you to do at all. But I am telling you to take the next step to position yourself to quit that job in the future. Because again, once you taste this success, this freedom of money, time, location, you're going to be going ahead and wanting to put that 2-week request at your job. Who also is this for, right? People who don't have a victim mentality. And trust me, I hate this, right? The reason why you are not where you are today is because of your decisions that you made. It's no one else's fault. But the good thing is you still have time to change it. Because at the end of the day, you are a result of the decisions that you made. If you're going out there and partying and hate where you are at life, well, guess what? That is your fault. So you are ready to take control and accept responsibility because that's the first step to change, right? Also, this is for those people that don't want to work until they're 65 to enjoy life. You don't need to make $100,000 in sales on Amazon FBA to enjoy retired life, right? You don't need $100,000 a month in revenue to enjoy that money, time, and location freedom. Everyone I talk to has a number, right? And that number can be very different from someone that, like myself, that lives in Los Angeles, or someone that lives in New York and lives in Miami, to someone that lives in Thailand, right? That number changes for everyone. So you might not need to get to the numbers where I'm at currently right now, but maybe all it takes is $10,000 in sales, right? To be able to live this life of money, time, and location freedom. So who is this also for? It's people who want to spend time with those that matter the most, right? I got into Amazon FBA before I had kids, and you have no idea how much I thank God that was blessing me at that time, because I had no idea that Amazon FBA was going to literally give me my dream life at that point. Being able to spend as much time with my kids, especially at this age. If you guys have parents, you know I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and these are the most vital times for myself. I want to be a part of my kid's life. I don't want to have to go to work every single day in the morning, right? I want to be able to spend the majority of my time with my kids, especially at this age, right? So if you want more time to basically spend it with your kids and your family members, this is exactly a video for you. And the thing is, like, my kids are different than a lot of kids, and I see it from day one already, right? What makes my kids a little bit different? Well, they don't know what it's like to have their parents work. They come and see me every single day for as many hours as a day as possible, right? Unless they're going ahead and sleeping. And they don't know what it's like to see their parents for only a few hours a day, which it kills me. I still have friends that don't do Amazon FBA right now, where they only spend the last few hours to go ahead and just put their kid to bed, which again, that's a crazy life to be living in because I'm so used to always being here with my actual kids, right? And they don't know what it's like choosing between 1 or 2 toys at Target. And I put that here because that's what happened today, right? I was on the aisle and said, you can only pick 1 toy. My kids don't know that. Whatever they want, they can go ahead and get it, right? So once you find meaning, which as you can see right here, my meaning is being a parent. My meaning is being involved in my kid's life. You can create a life on your own terms and you don't accept failure. That's the best part about it. When stuff hits the fan, you're going to figure it out because there is no other alternative. So again, you don't think some things are unattainable. Everything will be attainable once you have that meaning. And again, my meaning is my kids. My meaning is having that time, location, and money freedom. And I will go ahead and do anything possible not to change that. That's the mentality you will have once you find this meaning. So, and then you don't understand the power of attraction is actually real. Because once you start thinking that something is going to happen, once you start attracting that to your life, that actually works, right? Because it's actually going to happen. But let's go ahead and talk about like my life before Amazon, because I'm telling you all about all the great stuff. But I'm letting you guys know right now, it was never this way. Most of my life was never this way. I went through the same type of childhood as everybody else, right? Like my parents lost their house in 2008. I went to public school in LAUSD. I went ahead and went to college at CSUN, right, which is a California State University of Northridge, joined the marketing program there, graduated, and I thought my life was going to be just at a 9 to 5, right? So my life before Amazon FBA, right? This was 7 years ago, that I mind you, right? 7 years ago is exactly where I was at, right? I was working 12 to 14-hour days. I was always on the phone, hustling every single day to chase after clients and close deals. And you can see this picture. I was actually rookie of the year when it came down to Remax, which is a brokerage firm, right? So I was working my ass off, cold calling, door knocking, closing deals left and right, that I was actually rookie of the year. I was closing more deals than veterans in the space in real estate. But I was technically my own boss in real estate. But I was literally a slave to every single client. I literally had zero freedom at all. Every Sunday, I'd get that sick feeling in my stomach knowing that I had to go ahead and do it all over again the very next day. And if you guys have been in real estate, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? And this is exactly what my life looked like every single day. And maybe you notice a thing or two about how I look like. I was overweight. I hated life. And I was the most unhealthy I've ever been. Physically, emotional, mentally. My life was just drained. And I was only around 22 years old at that time, which again sounds absolutely crazy to me, that I was going ahead and I was overweight, hated life, and they're basically unhealthy at a point in life where you're supposed to be the most healthiest, right? Not overweight. But my life now, and I'm so glad it is so different now. I run businesses on my own term. I build Amazon FBAs from scratch that I want to go ahead and build. I buy Amazon FBA brands that I want to go ahead and work on myself. I partner with investors I want to partner with. I'm not tied down to say yes to everyone just to make money. I get to choose my life. And I also get to just work with students that I want to teach, because I have said no to numerous people, because I know that I only want to talk to an individual that have the same values, principles, and methods as me, right? So again, I can take my kids to Disneyland on a random Tuesday. I can travel to Europe for a month while my business continues to keep on growing. And I put this here, right? Like, I'm not just talking the talk. I'm actually living this life of first class, of going to Greece, of going to Positano and staying at the most expensive hotel in Positano, which is La Serenuse. And if you guys been there, trust me, you guys will love it. Spending time with my wife, going ahead and still partying. This was a little bit back in the day, but still partying, still doing the bottle services, still staying at the nice restaurants, going ahead and going to Vegas and getting penthouse suites, right? Again, going on a different business class trip where I get to go ahead and have champagne toast on arrival, going to Positano again, having nice dinners, going all over the world, going ahead and spending time with people that matter the most, getting first class seats with my daughter, going ahead and putting her on the Kings Islands, going to Monaco, going ahead and going on Lake Como, going to Mexico and spending time at, all of these different types of all-inclusive restaurants with my kids, going to the dugout seats at Dodger games and spending them with my entire family, my sister, my nephew, my dad, because that is who matters the most, right? Those people that you spend your entire time with is what matters the most. I have that time to spend it with them. And again, I only work 10 hours a week. I kid you not. I've been honest with you from the very beginning, and I'm honest with you where in my Amazon FBA businesses, I work no more than 10 hours a week, right? So if you start working hard but feeling trapped right now, I get it. I was in your shoes, as you can see, right? But if you're ready to bet on yourself like I did, everything can change and change very quickly. All you need is a taste of success to know where your pathway is going to. And what was my turning point, right? When did I know that I needed to go ahead and go from being a real estate agent, doing very well as a real estate agent, to go ahead and getting into this life that I live right now? Well, I remember I finally closed a massive $60,000 check. But instead of feeling on top of the world, I felt sick to my stomach. I remember going ahead and knowing how it felt like to deal with escrow companies, title companies, my lenders, going ahead and actually managing the relationship between feelings of a buyer and a seller, right? 6 months of hard work for one payday with no guarantee of when the next one's going to go ahead and come. Because as soon as you close one deal in real estate, where is that next deal going to come from? It's a hamster wheel of going ahead and door knocking, cold calling, reaching out, going ahead and, having those touch points of following up. That's when I knew I had to find a better way. When you receive a $60,000 check and you know that it's not good enough, you know something needs to go ahead and change. So that's when I decided to bet on myself and jump into Amazon. But again, I tried everything under the sun. It wasn't just Amazon. I tried doing a social media like managing services where I literally took all of the real estate companies around the area, the brokerages, and started selling leads to them, right? I also tried other digital marketing stuff. I tried day trading as well. But Amazon FBA always gave me that taste of success where I had those three things: the time, the money, and the location freedom, right? And once I decided that I was going to go all in on Amazon FBA, I was basically by myself because everyone told me I was crazy, which I already knew that. But they told me Amazon FBA was too saturated. I'll lose everything. I'll just end up in real estate or a regular 9 to 5, right? But I didn't care. I literally went all in. And what is all in meant to me was I was living at my parents' house and my in-laws. Which, again, if you guys have been in that position before where you have to move back in with your parents or your in-laws, it's not a very comfortable feeling or position to actually be in. But I invested everything back to find something that actually worked when it came to Amazon FBA. And if something didn't correlate to my end goal, I wouldn't do it. When those times where I went ahead and had the opportunity to go to clubs or have bottle service, I said no to it. Because it didn't go ahead and align with my goal of actually trying to become successful, actually getting the freedom of time, location, and money, right? So that was a mindset shift that, again, people talk about it and people think that it's a very cliche thing to say as far as switching up or shifting your mindset. But trust me, when it actually happens to you, you finally understand how powerful it is. So when I first started, I made a lot of mistakes, right? Like, I'm obviously not a perfect person. This is why a mentor will help you tremendously. Mainly because, like I said, I tried everything under the sun. Anything that a YouTuber would say as far as making money online, trust me, I did it. I did drop shipping. I did social media marketing. I did day trading. And I made money in all of these different things, right? But again, I always go back to one thing always worked, and that was Amazon FBA. So when I did go all in on Amazon FBA, I still made mistakes. And what were those mistakes? I tried going ahead and doing everything myself, from product selection to branding to freight to advertising to expansion. Like, I remember trying to go ahead and find a freight company to deliver all my stuff from China to the US. And I finally realized how much money I was going ahead and basically putting on fire. Because I didn't know the terminologies like DDP or FOB or all of these different types of freight costs, right? Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And if I would have had a mentor from the very beginning, trust me, it would have taken me half the time, like I mentioned before. And I didn't focus, right? Even though I knew I was going to go 100% into Amazon FBA private label, I still didn't have all the focus. Why? Because I wanted to sell on Amazon, but I also wanted to put my things on eBay, on Walmart, on Instagram, on Facebook. Right now, the whole thing is TikTok Shop. Trust me, it is all noise, right? Once you go ahead and focus on one thing and one thing only, you become a master at that one thing. And I'm here to tell you right now, I make all of my money, 99% of my money comes from Amazon FBA and an Amazon Seller Central account, right? So, and the reason why I did all of this is because I thought I was saving money. And in fact, everything I mentioned above made me lose more money than I should have. And again, you don't know what you don't know when you're starting something brand new. You think I went into real estate thinking I needed to go ahead and cold call and door knock to get my first clients? No. But I was able to go ahead and get a mentor, and they told me that's what worked. And I literally listened blindly to them. But that's why you get a mentor, because even though you might not trust the process, if you follow the process, it's going to go ahead and work for you, right? But I treated every single failure as feedback. I spent months building systems that actually worked over and over again. And I invested both my time and my money to figure it out, right? Now I have a system where I only work 10 hours a day. Trust me, that was not how it was at the very beginning. A system that allowed me to work on my business and not in my business. And I don't think a lot of people understand that, right? When you're working on the business, right? When you're actually working in the trenches of the business, you're handling customer support, you're handling shipments, you're handling all this day-to-day stuff where you're not actually growing the business, right? So allowing to have systems in place where I'm now focused on expanding and actually growing the business out. And eventually that system became the same thing I now teach to others. And this is what the exciting stuff is, right? What makes this different? What makes this different, right? Most are told that there is a magic formula to find winning products. And the way to scale is to wastefully spend money on outdated product research selection, launching techniques, and PP structure. Or worse, right? Like somebody tells you, it's all right. Once you have a good product, go hire an agency, right? And that's the worst thing that I hate doing, because I've spent so much money on hiring said agency that it's always a waste of money. Because 99% of people are giving advice based on something that they never actually ran, right? They never actually scaled an Amazon FBA business successfully. And the reason why people fail is because they listen to these people blindly without asking for proof, without asking for the receipts of them actually making money. That is why in the beginning of this video, I'm literally telling you what brands are making me this much money. Because you can go ahead and fact check me. You can go ahead and go do your own research and know that I'm actually telling you the truth. I'm actually speaking from experience. And all that advice on the internet is the same words in different fonts. And that is why I'm creating something that is putting myself on the line to prove that my systems actually work, right? Because people can go ahead and come back and say, you know what, this guy is full of it. You can read it in the comments. Might be able to go ahead and look at it on the internet. And if my stuff didn't actually work and people lost money on this, you would know that I am a scam, right? But obviously that is not the case, because in my program, I've actually worked with somebody one-to-one who is actually doing this business model. So the person that I'm taking one-on-one, you're actually getting me, the person that has been running Amazon FBA businesses. You're not getting a different coach. You're not getting anybody else. You're actually getting me. And there's no random fluff. The only thing that actually matters in the actual business I go over, and that's understanding the fundamentals in and out, regardless of where you're at in your Amazon FBA journey, right? Because we're able to identify strategies that actually put you in the roadmap to building a 7 and 8 figure brand profitably. That's the main thing. People can show screenshots. People can go ahead and show, sales going up. But if you're not doing it profitably, you don't have a successful Amazon FBA business, and you don't even have a business that's able to be sold in the future. You don't have an asset. You have a liability, right? And understanding how to market your product effectively without burning money. So you'll get access to work with me directly and get the info you need. Not only the info that you need, but basically going ahead and showing you exactly the roadmap that you have to go ahead and take in order to be in my shoes one day, right? But if you're not committed, I'll go ahead and guide you through every step of the way. And again, everyone is in different stages when it comes to Amazon FBA. And this is why I open it up as me being a coach, because regardless, if you're brand new to Amazon FBA, you've tried it before and failed, you're looking to scale your Amazon FBA business, you're looking and finally close to that exit. I've been through all of those different stages. And I know that the person that's going ahead and looking to sell their actual Amazon FBA business is very different than the person that's barely starting brand new. But at the end of the day, that's the goal of Amazon FBA, is getting to that exit finish line. So again, this is why I pride myself on certain results, right? So Sherwin that I mentioned earlier, a friend of mine that saw me from day one, he had a validated product and he was stuck at $15,000 per month in revenue. In just a few tweaks, I would want to say 2 session calls that he had with me, he went from $15,000 to $45,000 per month. And he wanted to be able to have more time to spend with his son and make some extra money on the cash in the very beginning. And we even made a video about those same strategies that you can go ahead and find on YouTube right now, that talks about how he went from $15,000 to $45,000 in basically 2 phone calls, which he says 2 weeks here. So that was his goal, right? To make extra money on the side. But where is he now, right? He just bought a house, remodeled the house, and now is living the life he never thought was possible in Los Angeles of all places. I know Los Angeles might get a lot of strays when it comes to going ahead and being like political and whatnot. But living in Los Angeles, in my opinion, is where you actually make it, right? There's people that live in New York, that live in Miami, but in LA, they're so diverse and people want to live here all the time. And that goes ahead and shows as far as like the housing prices, right? Or we have another buddy of mine, Kevin, right? He launched a baby shower confetti product on his own, right? And he failed. He knew the business model worked though, but he was just tired of hoping he would make money. So he reached out, right? And what ended up happening when he reached out? Well, we made a video about it where he was able to go ahead and make $100,000 in a year, which again, he just wanted a validated product to make some money as well. And where is he at now? Well, he just bought a rental property in Palmdale, which again is also in California, northern Los Angeles, but that is where he's at now. Because again, once you have that taste of success, it literally opens the eyes that where everything else is possible. But these are actual current Amazon FBA sellers, right? These people actually knew me before and they saw what I was doing day one and they decided to reach out. But Kareem wasn't, right? Kareem was just a hungry kid that just wanted to have me as a contact to bounce ideas off of and learn the ropes of Amazon FBA. And when he came, he was working at a job and he mentioned how there was a man there that worked with him and he was 60 years old or older, right? And he said he didn't want to be like him. He wanted to be able to have the freedom to do, not to wake up to an alarm and take trips to some islands the next day without having to ask someone first, right? And if he really wanted to go ahead and take care of his family as well. So where was he at? Where's he at now, right? This guy purchased an Amazon FBA business with $2,000 down. He's also managing one of the biggest influencers products that you might know right now. It's still a secret, but you'll quickly find out as far as what he's managing. And here's the proof, right? I'm also purchasing this brand for $6,000. Comes with $1,500 of inventory, $7.50 per unit, with $2,000 down, $350 a month for 11 months. This guy is going to be a millionaire by 2026. You mark my words. Because this guy has the roadmap. This guy has the vision. He knows the process. He trusts the process and he's hungry, right? So that's Kareem. But we also have Ghana, right? Ghana's from Indonesia. He had a brand that was barely doing a few $1,000s per month in sales. We're talking $2,000, $3,000. He was working long hours and he'd been trying to make things work, but didn't even know if his product was even good or if he should just restart with a brand new product. You see, he wanted to be able to spend more time with his family because his parents are getting older and he sees that. Which again, that's something that I experienced too. I had parents my parents were very old when they had me. Like my dad was 45 years old when I was born. So I understand Ghana completely, right? Where is he at now? He understood how fee structures actually work on Amazon, started lowering his fees and scaling through PPC structure, the right structure, right? He wasn't guessing anymore and he has now a clear roadmap of how to actually scale profitably on Amazon FBA. So you can see here, there's a bunch of growth in his actual business. I don't want to go ahead and zoom in and kind of take his products away, but you can go ahead and zoom in yourself. You can see the scale and the growth is crazy, right? Especially for someone that's only been working with us for the past, basic for the last 2 or 3 months, right? So, but what is your cost, right? Cost of taking action, right? If you are here, that means that you align with what I'm going over in this video, but you can just pretend you never watched this video, pretend you have no idea who I am, and continue to stay where you're at. You can stay stuck and remain stagnant, or you can try and figure it out alone. And if you go ahead and do that, that's fine. That's what I did, right? I tried figuring everything out myself. And trust me, you're going to waste time, you're going to waste money, and people, basically another individual that makes every single type of excuse on why the world is against them, right? And you don't seem to break through. You're going to have that victim mentality because you're going to say that Amazon FBA, you tried it and it ends up being a scam because you can't make money off of it. Instead of going ahead and taking the route of getting an actual mentor that has been here, done that, where you want to be in life, right? Or you can work with someone who has been there since 2018 and has accomplished what you want. And the choice is literally yours. But we both know that if you keep doing what you're doing right now, you'll continue getting the same exact results, right? That's the meaning of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It just doesn't happen. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? The choice is literally yours. So my challenge to you, if you made it this far in the actual video, right? If you're really ready to make the next step, it's simple. Go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram. I'll go ahead and name it right there. Email Los Angeles on Instagram. Go ahead and DM me the word brand. And I'll go ahead and make it a little bit bigger so you guys can go ahead and see. But go ahead and DM me the word brand on Instagram. And if you guys don't have Instagram, go ahead and check the link below and click it and see if we're a good fit together. Because again, I work with people that I want to work on. The only reason why I'm opening this up is because I want to change someone's life, right? I want to be able to go ahead and take someone from wherever they are, what their goals are, and actually accomplish it. Because Kevin did it, Sherwin did it, Kareem's on his way of doing it, David did it, Robert did it. I'm just going to go over all of this in this actual video itself. But I want you to taste that freedom as well. And know that even if you don't do Amazon FBA, the real freedom is those three things: money, time, and location. And if you have that at any job, make sure to go ahead and continue to keep that, because that's the most important thing in life. And again, go ahead, reach out to me on Instagram, send me the word brand as far as in my DMs, and we'll go ahead and see if we can go ahead and build you a profitable and scale your Amazon FBA brand and create a better life for yourself. But if you guys enjoyed anything I said in this actual video, again, subscribe to his YouTube channel, like this video. But until next time, guys, peace.